When I was 4 years old, I would cry uncontrollably when my mother left me in a strange place under another person's care. And this only occurred when my brothers were absent as well, so I found myself having to go it alone. I had fear in the absence of a tribe. It was already established. In grade school, I generally had a best friend outside of the school environment, but I was pretty much unable to even open my mouth while among other kids at school. I mean, I was a mute, really, in any social setting. And I was aware of it, and I was interested to understand a solution. And so I would study the boisterous peers especially. How do they speak out like that in the lunchroom? And the other kids, they're listening and responding the way they do. How do they come up with the successful choice of words and then follow it up with a story that gets laughs? And then they get friendship and esteem from the others. They get support from the others. How do they come to have a tribe at school? Of course, I never even wanted to go to school from the start. And I thoroughly resented that I was compelled to be there. Junior high was the worst of all, because by then being popular became all the rage, and being mean and judgmental apparently was in style. And so by high school, it was finally time for me to solve this compulsory school problem. I just stopped showing up on what I deemed to be the non-essential days anyway. And it didn't take long when nearly all the days came to be non-essential days. Naturally, I lacked severely in the social skills department as I entered my late teen years. And remember, I had a deep need to have a supportive tribe. And combine that need with zero social skills, and I think the challenge I faced becomes apparent. Now, when any of us comes face to face with a formidable challenge, we have two options. One, take the hard, often painful and grueling path where we learn new skills, social skills in my case. We learn skills that really prepare us to succeed. And I mean with truly meaningful and fulfilling outcomes. You develop skills that will serve you well time and again, that will bring you confidence and joy for the rest of your time in this round of the human game. I wasn't too familiar with that option. Alcohol, cigarettes, and marijuana, and the let's hang out and get wasted approach was option number 2. It was the cheater's way. It was a kind of a bypass around the challenge of developing real social skills and a real deep connection with my community. We just refer to the whole package as partying. And I developed a belief that all the elements of partying, the cigs, the whiskey, beer, and the joints, they were all essential constituents of my being. This belief would remain fastened to me for decades. Thousands of decisions were hinged upon that belief. An underlying fear rose within me if I ever seriously pondered eliminating those components, those essential components from my life. And so I remained a slave. And in my case, I was also the slave master. I don't spend a whole lot of time recalling old childhood experiences, but a lot of my insane core beliefs can be dug up in those old stories. The old stories aren't real, but the beliefs and the fears associated with them can be very, very much present in my consciousness. Of course, those fears and beliefs aren't real either. But how do I know that? How do I maintain an awareness of that? So, where did all those fearful beliefs come from? Well, from out there, from newspapers and TV, your teachers, and your parents and friends, and aunts and uncles, your neighbors, fake doctors and real doctors, and all those advertisements just filled with fear, just filling up your brain. So you come back to, well, if all that's within, why do you go searching within, like I brought up in Mexico? What is this searching within thing? So when I fasted from all the pleasures and all the distractions and all the perceived needs that I'd had for all those years. And it opened up a new understanding about within. Is those distractions and perceived needs and just call them addictions, pleasures, and all the rest, those were my within. That was the within. And all that was taking up all the room in there. They were taking up all the space. So you got to look within, but you got to look so honestly, with so much honesty, so that you can see all the gunk. It's got to be removed. And if it's sort of got a lot of fear and activities that aren't doing you any good, they aren't about love and they're not about joy, well, those are the ones you got to clear away. So that's the start. Got to clear that stuff away. And then you can start taking a look. And what's left, well, that's the good stuff. And we're going to get into that on the next episode. And I welcome you to continue Every Human's Journey in 2 weeks from now. See you then.